Yo, what is up, my guys? It is your boy, Press Buttons. Welcome to another episode of This Is How We Press Buttons. Woo! I'm so glad to be here today. It's been 10 days, but it's still been a week. I've had the Nintendo Switch 2 for a week, so I want to be talking to y'all. Is it worth getting it? Use this at least once a day, if not more. I'm just going to talk about, is it worth it? What game should you get? But before we do, we have a special guest here.
What's up? It's Bryn Buttons.
Yeah, we got Bryn Buttons here. So last week, I did do an unboxing podcast of me opening up my Switch 2. And I had a lot of fun. I've loved having this Switch 2. I've had a lot of great fun on it. And I'm going to be talking to y'all about, is it really worth paying the $450 price tag to get this, or the $499 price tag to get the Mario Kart bundle? So, is it worth it? Now, let's just say, if you have any Switch, it's a massive upgrade. Now, if you have the OLED Switch, the only thing you're going to lose is the OLED screen, but you are getting HDR. You're getting you're getting a smoother gameplay for the 120 hertz and all that. Now, I am just going to tell you all the story. I did tell you all the story about how I got this Switch 2, because I didn't think I was actually going to get this on launch day. But I'm going to talk to you about, I talked about the story on my podcast for the launch day, when I opened up my Switch and set it up and everything. I'm going to be talking to y'all. I'm going to say that story again, but I'm going to say a little bit slower, because I feel like I was probably talking a little bit too fast because I was too excited to open it up. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and talk to y'all about this slowly this time. So it was about almost around midnight. It was about 11:45 at night. This was on June 4th, so it was basically a few minutes before the midnight launch. And I was just like, so I had the plan to go get a MetaQuest 3S the next day on June 5th. And I had enough money for it. I only had to pay less. It was like $95, I think, because I had a GameStop trading credit. And I was like, well, I'm gonna count my money. I'm gonna count my money and see how much I got, and we'll see. And let me just see if I got enough for Switch 2. So I counted the money. I was like, oh my gosh, I have enough for Switch 2, and I'm gonna go get one. I'm getting the Switch 2 tomorrow. I'm going. Now the only issue is I didn't know if I was going to be able to get one, because of course this was a very, very high demand product. So I called my local GameStop, the one that's like 7 minutes from my house, and they didn't answer. And then I called the next closest to me, and I called and they said, hey, thank you for calling GameStop. Unfortunately, we are out of the Switch. And I was like, man, I was going to ask you all if y'all had any. And then I asked them, do you know any GameStops that are not doing the midnight launch? And they said this is literally the quote that the guy said on the phone. He said, the only one I can think of that I believe I got told was the one at the mall, which he said like what mall it was, but I'm not going to say it because, I don't want to reveal where I live. And he said, yeah, so he said the only one that I believe I got told was, X, which was a mall that's about 30 minutes from me. And I was like, okay. And he said, if not, yeah. So basically, that's what. So anyway, I went ahead and I thought of a game plan. It was about midnight, so of course everybody was celebrating that the Switch 2 was coming out. I was thinking, what do I need to get up in the morning? What do I need to leave the house to get to? Because I gotta go on a highway, and our highway is always busy because it was on a weekday. This was on a Thursday when everybody's going to work, so I'll be in traffic, and a lot of traffic. So I had to figure out when to leave. So I had to get up. I got up right around 7. I think it was about like 6:55, really, to be exact. But let's just say around 7. Around 7, I got up. And this is literally the hour that I get up for school, y'all. This is when I get up for school. And, yeah. I usually go to bed at 2. I was to bed at around 12:30 last night. Or not last night, but the night before I was going to go get the Switch 2. And it was, yeah. I did not want to go to bed that early, but if I really wanted to get the Switch 2, because I was afraid I was going to be tired, but I was honestly too excited that I couldn't really go to sleep. But then I woke up. Listen, when I have the blinds and the curtains closed, it's dark. It's dark in my room. It's dark. You can't see a thing, and I love it. I have my door closed and all that. But I had my door open. I had my blinds closed, but not my curtains because I wanted the sunshine. Or I had the blinds like just kind of cracked a little bit because I wanted the sun to get into my room so that way I could wake up and get up so that way I could be ready to go and leave. So I woke up around 7 and I go in my parents' room and I said, Mom. So I walk in there because they're sleeping. Because they didn't know I was actually going to do this. They knew I was going to go get a MetaQuest 3S, but they didn't know I was actually going to go get a Switch 2. So I walked in the room. I walked in their room. They were still sleeping. And my mom woke up. And she said, and she kind of looked at me. She was kind of confused why I was up. Because I sleep until about noon. Sometimes 1, 2 o'clock sometimes. Not 2 o'clock, but probably like around 1:30, so around the latest I get up. Yeah, so yeah, because I'm just a tired boy. I'm just a tired boy. And my mom says, "Why are you up?" And I said, I was talking to her and she didn't really know what I was saying because I was whispering because my dad was still sleeping and my sister. And I said, just come downstairs when you're up and all that so I can tell you what I'm doing. I told her, hey, Mom, I know this is a very short notice. I just counted my money. The Switch 2 is coming out today. And the guy said it is at the mall. So I got to go all the way down to the mall to go get this. I have a GameStop that is 7 minutes from my house. I have to drive to the third closest one. I went ahead and drove, and I missed my exit because I was in the middle lane. People would not let me over to the right lane. If you are a driver, you know what I mean, and you could probably feel the anger right now. I could not get over, and I was very, very mad about it. So I had to go off. So I went on the next exit. I turned around, go back on the interstate, and then made it on my exit. Then we got there. When I got to the mall, this is actually an extended story. I'm not explaining this much. I'm going like in depth. Yeah. Wait. Let me just say before. Let me tell you all my breakfast because my breakfast is pretty chill, just a light breakfast. Bananas and peanut butter with some milk. Man, that is some great breakfast. Great, beautiful breakfast to have. Bananas. You go on a light breakfast. You're not that hungry, but just want a little bit of breakfast. Bananas and peanut butter. That's real nice. It's a great breakfast. So now y'all need that if y'all need a light breakfast. Anyway, fast forwarding until I get to the mall. So I park there. There's just like 1 or 2 workers that are walking out of their cars because there's a Macy's. There were 2 guys standing out of their cars, and I kind of assumed they were waiting for the Switch 2. Where I was standing at the entrance to where the game, not at the GameStop, but there's a door, like, to get into the mall. And then the GameStop's like right there on the right. I was sitting there waiting, and a security guard walks up to me, and he says, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And I said, "Oh, the Switch 2 comes out today, so I'm waiting for GameStop to open." And he said, "Okay." So he actually walks in, but then he walks back out and talks to me, and he says, "You know what? I will let you in." I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you." He said, "There's some chairs in there. You want to sit and wait?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much." So I walk in. Everybody put chill security guard in the comments. Chill security guard. He was a very, very chill person. He literally let me in. This is before the mall even opened. I was the first person besides the employees. I was the first person to walk into the mall. Like crazy. And there were 2 guys. About 3 minutes or so minutes later, some guys started walking in. The 2 guys that were sitting outside started walking in. And I said, "Hey, y'all here for the Switch 2?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Did any of y'all pre-order?" And then one of them said that they pre-ordered. So yeah, I was, yeah. And, so yeah. So we were waiting. We were talking to the employee. She actually had a midnight launch at another location. There's another GameStop that was right near there. I actually didn't know about, but she was there for the midnight launch, and so she was saying how much she was worn out because we were there 8:30 in the morning. So I got to the mall at 8:30. I left at 7:45. Yeah, so I got there, and yeah. So we were talking to the employee. She was saying how tired, how exhausted she is. The GameStop didn't open until 11. So we were there. So we had to wait 2.5 hours for GameStop to even open. Yes, to open. And I do have the video of us getting all hyped for the Switch 2 when they were opening, like all those malls or the stores in the mall, like, like if they're closed, they have like that gate over the entrance to the store. We were getting all hyped when they were opening it. Let me go ahead and I have the the video. I had the video. I want to go and pull it up for y'all. But anyway, while we were waiting, I brought my old Switch OLED. I got a Victory Royale on Fortnite somehow, on Fortnite OG. I don't know how I did do that, but I somehow was able to get it. I need to let this load so that way I can try to get this video going here. Okay, so I did end up finding the video. So yeah, we were in there. I was sitting down. I was talking to some people. And I just want to explain something for a second. It felt so cool to be around my kind of people because I'm a gamer. And all those, there's two adults that were there. I guess they were getting grandchildren, or grandparents. I guess they were there to surprise their child with the Switch 2, I guess. But I was around my type of people. There's this one guy that I talked to a lot. And he was in college, and I'm in high school, so I mean, it was kind of a big difference, and he was really, really nice to me, and I really, really appreciated all that, and it just felt so cool to be around my type of people. It honestly just kind of meant a lot to me, and I really, really enjoyed having the people around me that were literally basically just like me. But anyway, I got the video. I want to go and take my microphone cover off so that way y'all can hear this clearly. But yeah, so I got it here. I want to go and show it to y'all here, or y'all can go and hear it. So she's opening the gates.
All right, my lovely people. Who here is ready for a Switch launch?
Yeah, so that was it. And you could just tell we were all just so excited. And so yeah, let me tell you how the line actually worked. So they opened the gates. She told the pre-orders go first, okay? Pre-orders go first. I mean, that's fair. I mean, they've been waiting for, honestly, longer than us because they pre-ordered it. So all pre-orders go first. Now, the second part of the line was going to be the people that want to buy, not to pre-order, but wanted to buy the Mario Kart bundle in store. So that was me, and I was the first person in that section for the line. So it was the pre-order, and after all the pre-orders, the next person was me. Yes, that was how early I got to the GameStop. Yeah, that was how early I got there. And I was very, very happy. And actually, let's go back a little bit. Sorry about that. While we were there, we were waiting for while we were talking to the girl, she was giving us stickers. The red stickers were for the people that pre-ordered. The yellow stickers were for the people that want the Mario Kart bundle. The third was for the people that, or the white one was the one that for the people that wanted the standard console. So yeah, it was not that hard they made it organized, well, kind of organized. I would explain to y'all why in a second. But anyway, all the pre-orders were going, and here's the thing that I hated: pre-order people started showing up late. They were showing up late. And they got to go ahead of us. Like, I don't understand. Like, they needed to go to the back of the line. I know that pre-orders go first, but the pre-order, if you show up late, you got to go to the back of the line. You can't just jump right in front of us. You have to wait like all of us need to wait. I was lucky that I was able to wait in the part of that line that I was in. And I was like, I'm not stepping out of this. If I'm stepping out, I'm done. I need to stay in this line. I'm not going home. I am staying here no matter how long it takes. I'm staying here until I get this console in my hands. Yeah, so I hated that, but then the moment I stepped into the store, I was so happy. And then they allowed 5 people in the store at that time. Now, if you were someone that needed something else from GameStop, maybe you wanted to get just an Xbox game or something like that, if you weren't there for the Switch launch, you could actually go in and get whatever item you needed. I think you probably were able to check out as well. I think there was another person at the cash register that was checking out. I think she was checking out people, I think. But yeah, I wish there was like 4 or 5 employees. One of them was helping get the Switches out. One of them was checking out. One of them, I guess, checking out the people that did not want the Switch 2. But she was just standing there. She should have just taken people's orders. It would have gone so much faster, and I would have been out much faster. So, and then one guy, he actually knew he had a friend that was actually standing in line to get the Switch 2. And he was just sitting there just socializing with him. I'm like, bro, we're wanting a Switch 2. We don't want to wait here. Let us get to work so that way we can get out of here. We don't want to sit here. And let me just tell y'all how long I waited for this Switch 2. I waited a whopping 2 hours. This is after it opened. So 11 o'clock hit. I didn't walk out of GameStop until 1 o'clock. That's when I got the console in my hands. It was a relief. I was so happy when I got in my car, or my mom's car, because my car was getting some work done on it. It was just I think it was just some. So I got my mom's car. As soon as I sat down, it felt like heaven when I got in the car, because I was standing up for literally probably around 3.5, almost 4 hours, around like 3.5 hours total. And let me tell you so I waited for 2.5 hours for the store to open. Waited 2 hours from open to me walking out of GameStop. The grand total of me waiting for this Switch 2 was 4.5 hours. Yes, 4.5 hours. Yeah. That it was long, but I was so glad that we were able to finally get this. And let me go ahead and tell you, I have the reaction of my sister getting this, because she's been asking, hey, when is the Switch 2 coming? When's the Nintendo Switch 2 coming? I was like, I don't know. And she says, I want the Nintendo Switch 2 to come, because I didn't know how much money, if I was gonna have enough money. I got the video. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so she was very excited, and we played. Yeah. So I walked out, sat in the car. It felt like heaven, because I was standing up for so long. 4.5 hours for the Switch. It was worth it. It was really worth it. I was so glad I was actually able to get one. Now, people are actually they're actually getting Switch 2s, selling it on eBay for around $800. So if you're really wanting one and want to get one, and confirm to get one, then you can get one for $800 on eBay if you really want one that bad. I honestly would just wait until they come back in stock. I went to a Walmart, I went to a GameStop, I went to another Walmart, and I went to a Best Buy. All of them had no Switches. They had the Switch 2 games, but and I don't think they had the broken controllers, but they had like the extra Joy-Con 2s. If you needed an extra pair for some reason, maybe you drop your Switch down the stairs and you need another pair of Joy-Con 2s. But anyway, yeah, they did have like some games and all that. They had the Switch 2 edition games, or not edition, but just the Switch 2 games. So that was my adventure. It was my first time doing a launch event, going to a launch event. Would I do it again? Yes, I would definitely do it again. I thought that was a fun experience, besides the waiting, but it was fun to talk to people, kind of be around the hype. You know, I love being around people that just get so hyped for something, and it just gets me excited as well. It's kind of contagious if you want to think about it like that. Okay, so I know that was kind of long, but let me go and talk to y'all about the Switch 2. Okay, if you have any Switch, whether it's a Switch OLED, a Switch Lite, just a regular Switch, I recommend y'all getting this. It's a huge upgrade. Let me just tell y'all, just by looking at the settings, let me just show y'all, or tell y'all, the HDR screen on the actual Switch itself. 4K resolution. Yes, 4K resolution on the Switch. On the TV, if you have it docked, has 120 hertz. Now, I will tell you the vibrations on this Switch. The vibrations, I'm not even kidding you. I don't even know to exaggerate. Like, I'm telling you, probably about 90% accuracy of the Joy-Cons is a vibration from your iPhone. It literally, like, if you feel the vibration, it feels like the vibration is coming from your phone, from your iPhone. Like, it literally just feels so cool, and I really, really like that. Let me see if I can. I don't know if y'all will be able to hear this. I tested the feature where you find your controllers. When, you know, like when you hold down to find a controller, it will vibrate. Well, it makes kind of a sound. I don't know if y'all will be able to hear this, but listen to this. So it vibrates, and it kind of makes that like alarm sound, or that alarmo sound. Y'all get it, alarmo. It's Nintendo's alarm system that they made, or not alarm system, but their alarm, like clock alarm. But yeah, the vibration on it is absolutely incredible. Now I will say, taking off the Joy-Cons putting on the Joy-Cons just feels so satisfying, so satisfying. Now let me just tell you the weight. The weight, it is weighted. Okay, it's not heavy, like uncomfortable. I'm sure if you held it for a while, I'm sure it would probably feel uncomfortable. But it's fine. It truly is fine. And not only that, when I gave my Switch OLED to my sister, Bryn Buttons, held the Switch, I held it side by side. The Switch OLED feels much smaller. And I do love the bigger size on the Switch 2. I love the bigger screen, the bigger size on it. So yeah, so do I recommend this? Yes, definitely get this. It's a great console. Now, I want to talk to you about the launch titles, okay? This is where it kind of gets you. The launch titles, the only good game was Mario Kart World. I mean, there was Cyberpunk, that's pretty cool to see on a Switch too. But Blick Fiction, do we really need that on a Switch 2? And thank you, Nintendo, but do we really need that? And there was this show called, game called Survival Kids. That was like a Switch 2 game. Like, what even is that game? I probably no one would play it. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. I'm sorry, we're not paying $10 to show us what the Switch 2 can do. We can literally go on YouTube, and they should have made that free. Mario Kart World, I will say not worth $80. I've played it, not worth $80. If you want Mario Kart World, get the bundle. Do not buy. Now, the bundles are a higher demand, but try not to get just the game by itself if you can. If you have to and you can't find the bundles anywhere, go ahead and just buy it by itself. If you, it was not really necessarily worth $80. Now, I will say, I do like how it was more open world. There was more to explore. You can kind of there's only certain parts of the map and certain parts of the maps or the tracks, but you could kind of go off the trail, kind of go in your own kind of different direction. So like one time I went off the track and I started going a different way, and it actually took me right to first place because the computers did not know what they were doing. So yeah, now this is something really cool I found. Okay, so I played Mario. So I have Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I have the game card for the Switch. Of course, it's just the regular Switch version, basically, right? I launched the game for the very, very first time, and I play it, and it's actually because it runs at 30 FPS, right? Well, it actually runs at 60 FPS, and it's not a Switch 2 game. It's a Switch 1 game. And it's running better than it did when it's not even a Switch 2 game. And I was very, very surprised and very, very pleased. Now, I do have Sparks of Hope. I did try playing that, and that one actually was not. That one ran at 30 FPS like normal, but that's basically how it all went down. Mario Kart World. I mean, I don't play Mario Kart. I've been playing it a little bit. I haven't played it the game that I've probably been playing really the most has really been Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle and Sparks of Hope. Really, those are really the games that I've been playing pretty much the most. So yeah, that's really pretty much I'm just playing a round of Mario Kart World right now. I want to do just a versus race real quick, and I'll play as Toad because he's light, so it'll be easier or faster. I would do the Dread Sled, and now here's something I hate. They left out 200cc. I don't know why they did, but they left out 200cc, and I'm very, very mad about that. Since we're Toad, Mario Circuit. We're gonna do Toad's Factory. Since we're Toad, we're gonna play in Toad's Factory. But yeah, these were some games that I need to see on the Switch too. I need to see these games, the following games on the Switch too. I need to see a Super Mario Odyssey 2. Super Mario Odyssey 2. That is a game. That's probably one of the best Mario games of all time. Like, truly, they did a great job on it. I just need to see that. If I see that, I'm happy. I'm a happy little boy, okay? I just need to have a Super Mario Odyssey 2. Because the first one was so much fun. Like, just having Cappy, you have a hat that literally, can talk and, or not talk, but, you can move, and then you can turn into different animals and all that. And I thought that was just one of the coolest things ever. So yeah, that's what I'm wanting. I'm also wanting, I don't know if y'all know this game, but Super Mario 3D Land. Like I said, I don't know if you actually know this game. If y'all know this game. If you had the 3DS, maybe you know what it is. But that's a game that I'm really, really wanting. It was a game it was on the 3DS. I honestly don't know how popular it was, but I remember having so much fun on it back when I had a 3DS at the time. Oh man, I'm in 5th place right now. First place or the blue shell's coming. Oh, yep, and right to what place we're gonna be in? 3rd place. Let's go. So yeah, so that's really about it for the Switch 2. So like I said, it is worth it. It truly is a great console. Go play with your friends. Go play with your family. It truly is a great console. I am wanting to get, if y'all have any games recommended for the Switch 2, let me know. I would really, really appreciate it. Also, let me know if y'all have a Switch 2. I would love to know if y'all have one. And yeah. So anyway, that's going to be it for today, everybody. Thank y'all so much for listening. I'll be doing another podcast about, like, I'm going to be comparing the Switch 1 versus the Switch OLED versus the Switch 2. I don't have a Switch Lite. I don't have a Switch 1 either, but my friend Sniper Time, he's been on this podcast before. He'll cover that for me, and he'll give me his. We'll probably end up doing a podcast together, and I just finished out his place in Mario Kart World. So yeah, so that's going to be it today, everybody. Thank y'all so much for listening. Guess it's worth it. Make sure y'all go get one whenever you can, or if you're very, very desperate for one, go get one for around $800 on eBay. But anyway, guys, I will see y'all in the next podcast. Peace out, guys.